Hello and welcome back everyone to Disco Elysium. We are still exploring Martinez and are in front of what appear to be a bookstore. So let's continue and talk to this little lady.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
I am the law.
I know, sir.
She stomps her feet to feel warmer.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
What kind of store is this anyway?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Books, postcards, easy. Even a kid would know all of this. Little girl, I know what a book is. Books are like very long letters with stories inside them.
Yes, that's exactly it.
I also know what a postcard is. It's a small cardboard picture that you can send to a friend or a loved one.
You got it, sir. What about board games?
The police don't have time for games.
Okay, sir. This was all very enlightening. Can I help you with anything else?
Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
What is your name? My name is Annette, sir. My mom here, my mom, her name is Pleasance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organizing the stock. The girl gazes at the window, then suddenly jolts, her eyes wide, as if recalling something. Feel free to stop in and browse our wares. You're standing here in the cold because... I'm signaling that the store is open, she nods eagerly. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. I should have a word with the store owner, maybe? Such a good trooper you are, already learning the value of hard work. Pat her on the head. Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mom out with the store. She smiles and stands upright like a little soldier. Shouldn't you be in school or something? I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mom keep this place running. Isn't going to school more important than this? What is school anyway? School? She rubs her rat-chilled nose. Well, mine is a big yellow building on Boogie Street, and the people there run it. They say it's a charity. School is stupid. You're lucky not to be there. That's totally something that he would say. Mom says it's necessary to do both, because it builds character. Mom says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed. There is a stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette. How's the business going? Mom says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being, she looks over her shoulder, cursed. Cursed? In what way? Cursed in a way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go, she looking for the right word, ass up? She blushes. I wouldn't really say it like that, but I guess so. This sounds rather serious. I should probably look into this. We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here. The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook. Yes, she chirps. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games are there, sir. What do you know about the other failed businesses? Nothing really, sir. Mom doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. She looks a bit disappointed. I don't really know what's there. How does this curse manifest itself? It does not manifest itself in any way. It doesn't exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather. But Kim, the plasmic manifestations... No such thing. The lieutenant stands at your side, stern and serious. The girl looks back and forth between you two. Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir? Enough about the curse for now. Annette looks at your shaved, prickly chin. It distinctly contrasts with the oily mutton chops that surround it. Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead? What is this crime business? Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminal. Wait, not crime fiction. I need to know what crime is. She doesn't know what to say. It's that bad. Crime is a deviation from the law punishable by either a civil or criminal sentencing. It's what the law prevents. Why would anyone want to read about crime? It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things, and it's kind of like a puzzle where you can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch them. I'm a policeman by myself, by the way. The law, as I said. You don't look much like a policeman. She examines you as if to find something policeman-like. Well, what does a cop look like then? Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. She points to a book cover on which you see a strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimly over the body of a dead woman. Dick Mullen was the name that our colleagues jokingly gave us. Not your body that's important in police. It's not your body. Well, I used to be exactly like that Mullen guy. Then I decided to live a little. What's that mean? You know, cut loose, raise hell, blow off steam. And everything's better now, sir? Yes. That's great, sir. She smiles enthusiastically. You know, nobody actually looks like the guy in the picture. Wow, look at that guy. I'll never be as good as Mullen. Don't say that. He's not even real. You are real. Overshadowed by a fake man. That's harsh. She looks at you with sympathy. Cheer up, sir. It's much easier being a fictional character. He doesn't have to deal with real things. Maybe you could show me some real detective police work, sir. Her smile is warm and consoling, unlike the imperial image of Dick Mullen. Like in the books. Okay, let's deduce something now. No! No, we failed the over 80% check. We're such a bad detective. She waits intently. I deduce... Actually, I'm sorry, I can't deduce anything. Small disappointment rolls over her, but she promptly gets over it and says, "It's okay, sir." What is romance? It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. She smiles at the thought, perhaps imagining herself in the situation. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. What about when everyone is poor? It's really not a proper romance story. That's more like an everyday life. So sometimes, yeah, poor people are boring. I guess, yes, people in the books are always very interesting, especially the romance people. What when both men are bad? These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that. What if it's written really well? Well, maybe then that's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting. What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all? I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mom? Maybe I will. What about a poor man getting a rich lady? It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process, or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something. I see. That's enough romance for me. I had another question. Who are these famous people? Oh, kings and queens, generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. She scratches her cold, reddened neck, then continues. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame. Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them. Reading those doesn't make the readers more famous, does it? But it does make the famous people more famous. She smiles gleefully. These famous people sound like a bunch of dorks. Annette's expression remains ever so helpful, but she doesn't say anything. Never mind, I literally had nothing else to say. Okay, see you around, Annette. Okay, that was interesting. A very nice little girl. Let's go inside. We're only at 1 morale. But I'll just save. Then let's talk to the mom inside, I guess. Maybe we can find out more about this cursed business thing. That's what's really interesting here. Let's look around. Gift books and molten candy. Old sports magazines tucked away in a dark corner. A quaint picture book brochure, very colorful. It's a tome of fascist magic, rather candid, but everyone knows the most interesting thing about fascists was their magic. Okay, well, that's new to me, but fine. Another boring book, just discarded here. Shelf of paranormal books. This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature. Look through the shelf. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. These 3 things are very important to the working class mind. The point of the book and many others on this shelf is to give people medical advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health service. Does that work? It serves platitudes while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to and which costs more than this book, is garbage and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything, though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you are ill in the first place. Does it say anything else? The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from, how to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver, and there's even a chapter on the ancient Ceres tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying. Okay. Map walls. Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They are held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulind, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is Le Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Seminese Island, Ile de Fantôme. What else? Ozone, Laurentide, Face à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white, disintegrated into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou. In the bookstore, it's you! Can you see cities on the island? You can. On Caillou, Revachol, a single black star. On Ozone, Fond de l'Air and Vermondo. On Archipelagos, Croyant Moran, Villiers. On Semenin, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas. 850 million people live on these little dots, an oceanic world of culture and commerce torn apart by history. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Mundi is the north azimuth, Grad is the northeast azimuth, I don't know. Samara is the east, Seol is the west. Isolas, they are called. Connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian unknown to you. You also know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are, distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust. About Revachol. The north coast of Verdant Island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperant. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and constructions. To the east, rolling hillside, Le Jardin, Stella Maris, the suburbs of Saint Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol east, west of the river. Kauron, it's somewhere to live, not bad. Then there's Jamrock, it's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. That's also where we are from. Then Faubourg, it's almost as bad and much larger. Then Coal City, it's the worst. Martinez, it's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait, there it is. North of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the greater Revachol Industrial Harbor. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest. Look at the map of Martinez. It's not really a map, it's a tourist thing, a picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, its detail could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling and wrecks there. Can I buy these maps? I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. Besides, you could scarcely afford them. They are quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. Why is the Martinez one so cheap? That old thing is an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps. The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it? What happened then? They didn't get far for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All the ruins are bad for people. Oh, I could try to see it. No, let's just pay for it. It's not that expensive. She nods. Always good to be informed in your surroundings. Having a map could be very nice. Use interact button. Tourist map of Martinez. The wall map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez with directions to the appropriately touristy locations. Year 48 resides on the upper right corner. Your finger moves through the various streets across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue de Saint-Cisbert, over Saint Brune and Martinez North. Finally coming to a halt at the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives you no indication itself. For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal, then Map tab. Now we can... I don't think we were able to do that before. Oh. Okay. Measurehead, the hangman. Okay, so okay. Interesting. That's good to have. I think that is 90 cents well spent. The plaque on the shelf reads biographies of famous people. You see a large variety of names, none of which rings a bell. Look through the display of books. Browsing through all the books with all the names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eyes. It reads High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Erve and Alfie Delatraz by one Cecilia Averbrook. What's it about? High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney races in history. One of them is the madcap driver Jacob Erve. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Erve's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other. Wow, that seems healthy. Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and running cop stays. I really must insist you buy one of these books. You're interrupted by the shopkeep. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though, but not too long. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce. Interesting. You want to look around here. Like, we found the map, which seems pretty important. And I feel also like this is a game where you do want to take it slowly. And maybe it's a little too slow, let me know in the comments. But I do want to be fairly thorough and inspect my surroundings, learn about the environment, learn about the world. And I feel like our inner dialogues with our brain are always entertaining anyway. Shelf of crime novels. These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over. A couple spook novels hide amidst all the detective books, thrilling tales of spycraft and daring do. Crime fiction is a disgrace, an asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardship of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of the books found on the shelf? Sure thing. You see Dick Mullen on the job, Get Me Mullen, The Stalwart Adventure of Richard P. Mullen, Dick Mullen and the Murder in the Orchard, The Sordid Affair of Dick Mullen, A Killing is Declared, Dick Mullen in the Murder House, The Final Case of Dick Mullen, An Obvious Lie, Dick Mullen and the Clock Tower, The Ordeals of Dick Mullen, Dauntless Dick, Dick Mullen's Funeral Pyre, The Murder of Dick Mullen. Dick Mullen dies? Oh no, turns out he faked it to solve a case. Are there any more? Yes, there's also The Dame Who Did It, Farewell My Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The Morbid Tales of Dick Mullen, A Dark Tide Turns, Tragedy Calls for Dick Mullen, another one with fake death, and of course Dick Mullen the Murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must become the murderer. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? Who is it? Success! Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. What do we have here? Mistaken Identity? A worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic hardball phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend and has just a few days to prove his innocence. Why does this speak to me? Could it be the motives of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? That's probably right. I'm a complicated guy, full of contradictions. No, it's gotta be something else. Perhaps you're drawn to the dark and noirish atmosphere. No, that's not either. Is it because the smoking dame in the slinky dress on the cover is giving you a hard-on? Alright, that's definitely it. Yeah, this is the book for you. See the way she's suggestively holding that pistol? That's symbolism. Do I want to buy that? I don't know. I'll hold off on that. Interesting. Let's talk to the shopkeep.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance.
Plaisance. Okay.
Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
Before we go on, you seem to be well off enough. Can you give me some money? I feel there won't be an opportune moment to ask later.
Sir, don't be ridiculous. I certainly will not give you money. I would be doing you a grave psychic disfavor.
Gas? I mean, it was worth a try.
One has to earn one's success, even if one is a police officer. Handouts are nothing but manipulation. All they do is make you dependent.
Certainly there are good things to be said about dependence. I'm a powerful feudal lord. I demand tribute. This is about tradition. Yes.
Now, hey there! Sounds like someone isn't taking responsibility for the energy they bring into this space. Tribute, power, these are not the traditions we're used to in this part of the world.
Okay, so are you the owner of the store?
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Her voice is high-pitched as if to give it more penetration. The girl outside mentioned that this place is cursed. Cursed? Who said that? Annette? She blinks. I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy, good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir. What in God's name is she talking about? Your daughter is the one standing outside the store, right? Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing the job like a proper girl? Yeah, of course. Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Yes. Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking to her? I'm not going to grade a human being. I don't do that. Come on now. It's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. She crosses her arms. I expect an answer. 10. Very polite, helpful. My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. She's immensely satisfied with the answer. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as Annette. I'm here to dismantle the free market and abolish child labor. She rolls her eyes. You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening. Depends. How much do you pay the kid? Good sir, what does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her. As a fund. She's securing her financial future out there. Such criminal behavior would not happen in more developed countries. In some more developed countries, this sort of thing is two felonies, child labor and slavery. Those countries will realize they've raised a lazy and spoiled generation. Her tone is decisive, not at all angry at the insinuation. Are we done with the jokes now? Yes, we've had quite enough fun here. Lieutenant taps his foot. The way you're handling her strikes me as wrong. Mind your own business, sir. Her posture becomes very rigid. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise their children. It's none of your or anyone's business. Denial is the way she copes with criticism. Okay, let's change the subject. What if I want to buy a book? Then why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy anything? She fiddles with her pendant, then waves her bony fingers directly at you. See those shelves here? There, go. So what types of books do you have? Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. She nudges her glasses. The shelves compel you, don't they? Something weird about her. Interesting. What about this? Can I go back here? Close curtains. You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Let's examine the... You see some kind of charm in a regular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straws. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. From the looks of it, this is a traditional Seminese ward, meaning to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural scourges. And who are the Seminese? Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, the Seminine Isle down south. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you. What's behind the curtains? Nothing. Now please go back to browsing books. She fiddles with her pendant. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about. She's trying to hypnotize it. She's doing some weird voodoo thing. She speaks almost if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Odd enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. Do it. Just as you are about to pull apart the curtains, the petrifying voice of the shop owner cries out once more. Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off the limits for customers. Her hand has closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with her talisman. Parapsychological speaking, we're done. If you decide to open them, I won't be held responsible for consequences. It's too dangerous. She looks away, mumbling, why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people? This is about the curse? That's why you're afraid? No, it's just a storeroom for employees, I told you. Now please, step away from the curtains. She's almost begging you. This is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers. The curtains do seem frail suddenly. Not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness. Oh, do we go in there? But I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond this threshold. You do? She grabs her pendant again, visibly shaken. My god, even more reason to not mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir. No, she raises her hand and tries to stop you. Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme. Talking is always good. Go see what she has to say. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you. Well, let's talk to her first.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Why are you so uptight about those curtains? I just want to know what's on the other side. I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. I don't understand why it's so important to you. Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books. Recites it like it's a poem, or like she's playing a role she's grown tired of. He's so tense, it's a miracle she hasn't snapped in half yet. If it's just a storage room, why does it have a 70s ward protecting it? It's just for decoration, she wavers under your gaze, mouth pressed into a tight-lipped smile. Then something breaks. Okay, fine, it's because this place is cursed. Just like Annette said, they don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything? She closes her eyes and starts mumbling something to her pendant. Host of hosts, she prays, guard me and my honest business venture from the curse that lurks behind the curtains. How does this curse manifest itself? A shiver runs through the woman as she looks around in the dimly lit store. The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation. The voice drops to a whisper. It's the dark curse of financial distress, of ruin, of bankruptcy. She peers at the curtains again. Annette mentioned that the previous tenants have experienced some financial troubles. It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the daemons, maybe, bidding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here. Why didn't you just tell me right away it's the curse? It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism, she shivers, it's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them. Wow, void wraiths. You have a new word. Have you sought help from anyone? Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of Seminese mediators. They provided me with the wards. She nods to the strange cage-like trinket on the curtains. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building, even though now I fear it's not enough. Is your pendant part of the wards as well? Oh, this? She holds the pendant in her palm. Its ochre heart glistens under the lights. No, it's a special humane amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans, with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy the books. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell. For example, she nods, it's guaranteed to boost sales, 15%. Desert pygmy shamans. That sounds like a rather questionable way to describe a group of people. True. Doesn't seem like the spell is working. There are no customers around except for you. Yeah, honestly, this seems like a scam. And, I mean, if I have to be the voice of reason here, You're having an issue, lady. She nudges her spectacles. Sir, I'm well educated in the commercial and esoteric arts. I know what to do and what to avoid. You could try to be friendlier with customers. My voice is trained to perfection by true sales professionals, good sir. I paid good money for those courses. Too much money even. She looks around in the dusty store. Perhaps I should have bought some water instead. Wouldn't you like me to take the case? I could investigate, see if the curse is real. Well, certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away. Leave the spirits be, so they can return to their slumber. My liege, you know what this case calls for. A para-detective. Yes, convince her to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. Success! Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like. Madam, I came here to help. I've handled paranatural situations before. Are you sure? She looks skeptical. Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before. I have returned from the void, a paradetective from a long line of paradetectives. You are no paradetective. You look nothing like one. You're clearly a drinker. Pardon me for being so blunt, but you look like one. Lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He suddenly picks out his notebook. I admit I had my share of drinks, but only because the spectral realm is parapsychological taxing. You see, it's necessary to drink the spirits in order to contact the void. How do you know all this? Here we go. I am the Void Revenant. I have the powers to debat all the bad energy. Should have realized. A pattern lies within the fabric. The hand of fate guides us. Our meeting could not have been mere chance. But I'm not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You're certain you can help us keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us. No problem whatsoever. Your family is safe. The phantoms are no match for me. She shuffles nervously. If you promise, good officer, then... She pauses. You might be our last hope. Do you swear it? Hand on my heart. On my honor as an alcoholic communist detective. New task, investigate doomed commercial area. Thank you, sir. Timid sigh of relief followed by a cautious smile. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity. Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sir. Of course, the entity. For I have sensed its presence. You have? The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney? Chimney. The passage between heaven and hell, of course. Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there. Okay, bookstore back door. Some unnatural magic, I assume. She shivers. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the water door behind the curtains. Take it. Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked around. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What she discovered in there. Unbelievable darkness and ruin. What you discovered? Probably just some office space. Don't be scared. Do we have some more questions? No. Okay. Ooh, the bow collector. It's early in the morning. The world is dark blue. The sparks light her face. A delicate composition of triangles. The streets seem to grow longer, like in a dolly zoom. And there's something in the air as you stand there and wave back at the shapes growing smaller and smaller. Something that has always been there. A great see-through world. The tenderness you feel. The ghost of Revachol between you carrying your signals. The holy messenger. +3 shivers. I can't internalize anything else right now. Just wonder, do I see when it unlocks? Okay. Yeah, there we have the quest for the entity. And I think our job as the supernatural, paranatural, super investigator will continue next time as we investigate the curse of this bookstore. I'm excited. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, please give the video a thumbs up. Maybe consider subscribing to the channel. Also share the video with friends, family, and the people on the internet. That helps me out a bunch and will bring you more content in the future. I will be back with more Disco Elysium tomorrow. Until then, have a great time.